On this oven, some of the flames don't start. This one's fine. This one's not. Now, to fix this without replacing any parts, this is what you need to do. First off, this oven says it's Electrolux. Second, here's the serial number. Or the model number, not the serial number. First step, remove some screws. There's a screw right here you need to remove. To remove the front faceplate. Then after that, you remove the knobs. Then the dirty faceplate comes off and you can clean it. After that, you just tear off the switches. And there's some grease on this. Oh, step one, most important step. Unplug the stove. Unplug. And then comes this step, which you should have known. You remove the switches just by pulling straight out. Straight out with a moderate to heavy amount of force. Then these come off. On another video, it says that you have to take the top off, take the back panel off, and take other things off. But in order to get this working, you just have to take these switches apart and clean them. I mean, sure, they're switches, pressure switches. So I'll show how to do that. So to clean this, all you need is a knife and nothing else. And take this apart without cutting yourself. This is the second time I'm doing this. So hopefully, oh man, I'm pushing straight into my hand. That's not how you do this. I'll do it here, risking cutting my, there you go. So you need a sharp edge. Just push in and turn, tilt the blade. I think that side came off. So this side is off. And the tip of this broke off. This blade isn't too good. This knife isn't too good. Let's see if I stab myself. So that's off. That's off. The front cover comes off. The knob tilts out. And then the problem is here. First off, pull one of these off. The problem is that the contacts are burnt. Here's a burnt contact. Look at that burn. To fix that, all you have to do is scrape it with a razor blade. Somehow. or clean it with whatever method you want. Now that takes some of the electroplating off, and I'm not sure how long this would last, but it's clean. Black wire goes on the bottom, red goes on top with this oriented to the right. And you do the same thing on this. Here's the contact point. Pretty clean. Clean enough for me. I don't think there's any burn left. And then you put this back together. Oh, apparently it slipped out a little bit. And do I have this backwards? I don't remember. Okay, red goes on bottom, that's right. It should be right. Yeah, I think I have it upside down. Do I have it upside? Yeah, I have it upside down. Oh man, I'm so smart. I'm using my nail to press in right here in order to get the black wire fully seated, along with the contact fully seated. For some reason, the contacts are sideways. So I'll drop the switch. Instead of using a knife to solve the problem, where I can cut myself, I'll use a dollar store flathead screwdriver. And you have to have a dollar store flathead screwdriver. Oh look, the wire fell off. Man, this is getting better and better. So after pressing this down, now the blade's flat, but the red wire fell off. So red wire goes back in, and hopefully it's not too loose. So the switch tilts in. Doesn't even matter. Maybe it would be helpful to lube it. Let's lube it. Tilts in. Tilts and drops in. I say it tilts and drops in. Do I have it the wrong way? I don't have it the wrong way. It There we go. It tilted and dropped in. Now I'll put some silicone lube on there. I don't even care about cleaning the surface. Here's the friction area. Actually, the friction area is right here. So I think this stuff is not flammable. Use a screwdriver and rotate it. And then put the faceplate back on. I think it's not, I'm pretty sure it's not oriented and it's symmetrical. And on the back, it looks like it's good. So it should work now. Oh, this one worked before and I just cleaned it. I already cleaned this switch and I have 2 more switches to clean. So let's do that again. With the broken switch. So in order to get this off from the bottom, stab this in, tilt inward, or press down, tilt outward. Because the face over here, this face over here, has a little bump that the blade could catch on. Might as well pop the rest off with the blade. Front off. Here's the non-working switch. Switch out. Lube the knob for fun. Put everything to the side. Pull this off. And on this one, there's only one contact point for some reason. And the contact point is completely burned. So this looks like the switch is partially defective. It works, but it's partially defective. Because both contact points should be contacting. Which means maybe just bend the finger. Oh, I bent that a little too much. Now, bending inward probably isn't the best idea, because the contact point is just going to be a flat tip surface. So, whoops. So keep this straight bend the whole thing. No, not bend the whole thing. That's dumb. Yeah, bend the whole thing. Here. And then afterwards, clean this. Now this is hard to get on camera, so it gets the cable short. So I'm just gonna do it, not blindly, but out of camera view. So this is clean. Took the electroplating off a little bit. Or surface coating, maybe not electroplating. This is incredibly hard to hold in camera. So I'm actually going to flip the blade over because it's not perfectly smooth. So start off with a clean blade. Now I almost cut my bare feet and I chipped the tip of this. Always retract the blade when putting this back together. I did this with a power drill and this spun this like a helicopter. So I'm going to clean some grease off of this. And then afterwards, I'll finish cleaning this so the surface is smooth with the new flat blade. And it looks like the arcing on the switch actually took some of the material out. That spot right there is hard to remove because I think it's into the surface a little bit. So I'll put this together. And then I'll do the last one. And hopefully things will work. So the elbow goes down. Let's call that an elbow. The gun shape faces down. And this goes on. In, not on. On or in. Now the blade is not parallel, so I think I'm going to bend this out a little bit. Yeah, I bent it in a little too much. Maybe just keep it straight. There, that's better. You know, it's probably better not to bend this out. And the reason being, it might make the arcing worse. But I'm not going to try to flatten it anymore. Switch tilts in. Switch doesn't even tilt in. You don't even need to tilt the switch in, and then just force this on. Clickety click. Click, click. Click. And then lastly, there's this one, which there's not really any space to do, so I'll just move the camera. Don't ever cut into your hand. And always have blade awareness. If that makes any sense, because you don't want to kill yourself most of the time. Unless you're working with a poorly designed product, then you could consider it. But not until you consult your local priest. The local priest could say, yeah, that merits going to heaven. You know, you just shouldn't be around him. I mean, you shouldn't be around poorly designed products. You know, G takes the will of life away from me. Is this G? So this one has light burning, works perfectly fine, clean it anyway. And this side has a little burning, clean it anyway. Blade's nice and sharp. I'm not cutting into my finger. My finger's a little bit safe. My nice rough hands. Rough, manly hands. I forgot what side I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning that side. Good as new, except falling off. So might as well remove it before doing that stuff. Yeah. Just pull the wires off, makes things easy. Black goes on bottom. B for bottom. This goes in the slot. Align the old cut. Press the wire in. Put the red wire in. Press things in a little bit, and if things are engineered well, might as well lube the tip again. Just the tip. That's what I tell the waiters. I'll give them just the tip. So you put this together, put everything else back together. Then you go to church, pray to God it works, come back home, put everything back together and turn it on and test it. So, switches go back on. screwdriver to face the slot down. Press them on. Actually, put all these on first and then press it on. Wiggle and press on. Did I break something? I did break something. Oh no. That's okay. So make sure the black lining notches or slots or whatever they are go behind the switch, the gas valve. So whoopsie. There, this is on. Rotates a little bit, but I think that's fine. Press straight in, wiggle a little bit, straight in, wiggle a little bit, straight in, and wiggle a little bit. On this, there was a tie around the wires. And then put the knobs back on and see if things work. So this here was the problem burner. Top goes back on. Let's plug the machine back in. That's right, it's a machine. It's a long time to plug in. Turn this. Oh, that's the wrong one. For some reason, the back one failed. Apparently due to... Oh, so I got that one wrong. Back one's the one that failed. Back here. Apparently due to a defect. And we're good to go. Now I'm gonna clean this whole oven, because it's nice and messy back here. Nice and clean. It's nice and homey. I call this homey. When I go into a new house, that's what I like to see. I like to see some decoration behind the oven. I'm gonna take the top off and I'm gonna clean some of this nice tasty flavor off of the oven. So we're good to go. We'll just tell somebody else to clean because that's their job, not mine. And I skipped the step of going to church, so sorry guys. Whoops, I'm a good cameraman.